So as a young child, Shalom Dovber, the Rebbe Rashab, whose birthday we are commemorating today, that the Rebbe focused on so many times and highlighted the famous story where he came back from school learning the parsha that we just read in the Torah, Parshas Vayera, and he came crying to his grandfather, the Tzemach Tzedek, how could it be that the Eibishter revealed himself to Avram Avinu and I have not yet seen him? To which his grandfather replied, as a Yid Tzaddik zu 99 Jahr, when a holy tzaddik at 99 years old realizes that he still has work and he still has to be zichmal, it's worth it for him to be able to have that experience and be able to experience the Eibishter in that way. Yet, in the Rebbe's own very unique way, he wasn't satisfied with his story, with the question and with the answer. I remember reading a story of one of the Lag BaOmer parades that the Rebbe did not come out to Eastern Parkway. It was on a Tuesday, but yet there was a big rally. But on the way to the oil, the Rebbe asked that the car go down Empire Boulevard where all of the rides and all of the children were playing. And everything stopped at that moment where the Rebbe very slowly drove by and looked at the children playing on the rides. And the big Ferris wheel at that moment paused, and a young child at the top of that wheel, who didn't realize what was happening, cried out and said, we're dying. Let's say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. And a few days later, when somebody complained to the Rebbe why we would spend $70,000, so much money on these types of experiences and rallies, the Rebbe's response was to have a young child who can say Shema Yisrael with such a sincerity and with such truthfulness, $70,000 is worth it. We invest so much in so many different areas, but the outcome is to be able to look and educate and be proud of a generation of children that see this, that see Ruchnius as their true reality. They see the world through the Rebbe's glasses, as we just heard Rabbi Resnick so eloquently describe. My father, Zichronu Livracha, who was extremely passionate about, obviously, Shlichus, but Chinuch. I have over here the schus. Every time that you hear me take a moment and I forget the next word is because my dear mother, the great Mechaneches, is sitting right in front of me. On one of his trips to South America, he met with different communities and then brought with him the president of the community in Peru to the Rebbe for dollars because they were dealing with challenges with their own children. And you can see it on the video. The couple comes by the Rebbe and they tell them, what should we do? We're living in this far-off community and our children are not really following in the ways that we would want them to. And the Rebbe looks back in his own very unique, fatherly way and says, there's one way, I'm paraphrasing, but that's by being an example. If you do what you're supposed to do and your children see you doing it, then they will follow it. And truthfully, I'm extremely grateful to have grown up in a house where our ideals are not taught, but we're experienced. We have role models to look up to. We are able to see people who live, breathe, and believe what they want their children to grow up with. And because of that, whenever we would travel around the world, it was very easy for our parents to teach us and show us we are different than the people that we host. We are different than other people. We have standards that we can live up to. And the truth of the matter is, that clarity, that experience, teachers along the way. How many times have I met people that one teacher who believed in them, who was a role model for them, who shared and taught not only what they learned, but by way of life. And this is really the mission that we are recommitting ourselves to today, 50 years later to Shnas Chinuch. But more than that, as we were looking at the original documents of Merkez Linyonei Chinuch, it became evidently clear not only that the first shluchim were sent out to open up schools. Rebbetzin Fogelman just passed away, she should have an aliyah. But in Agadir, Morocco, all around the world, the first shluchim were sent out to open up schools, chinuch. The whole idea of shlichus, the way the Rebbe explained it, was that there's a fire burning. Something is an emergency. We have to jump in. But that's taking for granted that the fundamental, the foundation, the Banenu Arevim Ba'adenu, that the schools that teach these young children, that the mechanchim and mechanchos, the teachers, which are the first and the tallest order in any community, and especially by the Rebbe, and especially in Lubavitch, are working on all cylinders and being successful. So like that, everything else that has to be built on that foundation can go further. And that is really what tonight is a testament to. Li'ayin hara, over 600 mechanchas on a Tuesday night can take off an evening to come together, to be able to recommit to the Rebbe's principles of chinuch, to understanding that Emir Hashem over the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years, and Emir Hashem long before that will march to the Geula with Mashiach, and as the Rebbe would say, with all of our kinderlach, with proud labels made in America. But until that point, hopefully not such slow beginnings, but slowly but surely, but definitely something that we are committed to. We will work together with the principals, with the schools, with the teachers, with the parents, with the families, to make sure that the Made in America Chassid is one that is willing to stand up and push back, and being able to continue knocking on doors at 13 years old, being able to push back against the whole wave of whatever comes their way, because they're built and they are infused not only with the Hasidic pride, not only with the incredible chayas, but also empowered with the knowledge and ability to continue lilmoid lalamoid lishmer velases. So l'chaim, this should really be the last frontier, and now that we're tackling it, once again, we should be able to march the Gula Mitzvah Shlema and have the end of this evening being given and shared by a Farbrengen with the Rebbe, l'chaim.